PR Connections Radio presents. This episode of the Sunday Morning Chat Series is brought to you by Classy Communications PR and Advertising. Classy Communications provides public relations and marketing solutions for businesses, professionals, and nonprofit organizations. They can deliver the true meaning of your business with press releases, social media marketing, web development, email marketing, book publishing, and much more. Wherever your potential clients are, they can help you connect with them. Visit classycommunications.net to learn more about their suite of services that can help your business stand out from the rest. Classy Communications is your solution for business success.
Hello there, and welcome to the Sunday Morning Chat Series with Jesse Oakley III, and I am your host, Jesse Oakley III. Now, the purpose of the Sunday Morning Chat Series is for yours truly to have a plethora of positive people and interview a plethora of positive people that make a big difference in the communities, whether they're speakers, writers, authors, business people, athletes, singers, entertainers, anyone with an awesome mindset. You'll hear from them first right here on the Sunday Morning Chat Series with Jesse Oakley III. Now, I got a key secret for all the happy people out there. If you want to do something amazing, it's always best to do it with a certain mindset that is out there. And it's best to do it with a positive mindset compared to the alternative. And when you're able to do that, then you'll be able to actually reach out to not only other people that are involved or that want to be a part of the movement or this progress, but you're also reaching out to yourself and developing a certain type of growth and a certain type of amazement within inside of you. Now, to assist me in this, we have a person here who is keen on a positive mindset, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce her as Happy, but she's also known as Tami Green. Hey, Tami, how's it going?
It's going wonderfully well. How are you this morning?
I'm doing quite well now that you're here. And with that being said, are you ready?
I am.
All right, without further delay, let's chat. Now, we talk about this certain positive mindset that is going on and how it's making things better and how it's actually going from one step to the other step and everything that's going quite well here. Now, my thing is this. How did you come up with your mindset? What was your aha moment when it comes to this environment?
Well, that's a great question. Again, thank you for having me here. I'm grateful to share. Honestly, like most people, I focus on, the bad. What's the worst that can happen, not what's the good that can happen. And I got good at that, like being negative in my mind. I grew up rough, had a lot of adversity. I struggled with depression for over 30 years. And looking back, what actually shifted me into this mindset was when I was 16 years old. I had a friend of mine who got frustrated with me because I was always complaining. I was sick a lot. I had a lot of issues. I didn't want to go to school. I was homeschooled. And she said to me, well, if you keep saying you're sick, you're going to be sick. So stop saying you're sick. And I thought, like, wait a minute. I can do that? Like, I have the power to change my mind? Because I didn't know I can control my thoughts. And that was the seed that sparked my mind to change. So I thought, okay, well, if I say I'm not sick, and then guess what? I started getting better. I went back to school. My life started shifting. Now, fast forward, it took me to get into my 30s where it really took fruition, where I started asking the question, what's the best that can happen? Instead of me going over all these negative scenarios in my mind and playing those out. And then those things would start happening to me. When I shifted and focused on, well, wait a minute, just think about the positive outcome. Like, what if, I got this amazing job? Or what if I got what I wanted? And then slowly and surely it started happening. So that's how I first did my mindset when I was 16. And my friend said that to me and changed my whole life.
Now, I got to be grateful for that friend that basically had that shift in that mindset. And I can tell you right now that having that shift and having that turn is truly an amazing experience. And you actually can go far with that type of mindset. And myself, I'm an example about this because when I was younger, I had the anger, I had the frustration, I had the part of my language, everybody, but pissed off moments and everything else that's going that way. And the more I have these moments, the more it starts to sink me down. And at the time, I didn't realize it until there was a breakthrough that has happened. So that shift in the mindset, it does make a big difference. And speaking of which, how has this shift in mindset, how has this certain click benefited you in the long run?
Well, in countless ways, like it's just I can't even. I'm trying to pinpoint like a one moment where it just really shifted. Like when I really started to reap the benefits of it quickly. I want to say back in 2008 when the stock market crashed. Man, everything went all a mess, and I was just in a bad place. Couldn't find a job because I lost my job and it was just horrible. But in that process, it's probably now like 2012. I went from 2008 to 2012, just not having a job, just like scrambling, trying to figure it out. Leaning on family, grateful for family. And I heard a voice in my head say to me one day, because I'm applying for jobs, getting out rejection letters, and I heard it say, "Stop, just stop, just stop." And what's the best that can happen if you stop? Like, just what if you stop applying and know that, trust that someone's gonna call you, and you don't gotta, they're just gonna give you a job. I'm like, what? But I see, you know what? What's the best that can happen? And I stop applying to jobs. And about 2 weeks later, I get a call from a woman offering me a position in the industry that I'm in. I'm a design engineer, where I can work remotely from home. That's when they first started doing like the pilot of, remote workers. And I was like, what? Okay, sure. And that was like, I trusted that it was going to work out, and it did. And I've been doing that since 2012, working from home remotely since 2012. It's been successful. Even me moving to Vegas was a aha moment where I was like, a leap of faith. I said that I wanted to move. I wanted to shift in my life. My son had just graduated high school. He's out the house. I'm raising my sister too. So I'm like, I'm an empty nester now. What I'm going to do in my life? And I asked the question to myself, where do you want to go? And if you want to go there, like my path is going to be easy. And then I was here in Vegas a month after that. My path became easy. Just things open up, doors open. I'm living in my dream home. And it's grateful. I'm just grateful. I mean, having this mindset has shifted me to be able to really live a life of luxury, I can say. Like, I'm happy where I'm at. I have a great position. I get to meet great people. And all because I focus on, man, what's the best that can happen? Shoot, something amazing,
I hear you. I hear you 100%. Now, there's a certain type of positive mindset, and I tell you what, this is the planet Earth, and we have 8 billion people here, and we have different moments and different situations that has happened. And people that adapt to a positive mindset will often face different challenges, whether it's inside themselves or whether it is outside themselves with certain challenges. Now, ever since you developed this mindset of positivity, what has been some of the challenges that you faced in this undertaking, this new mindset?
Well, a lot, but not really. The main challenge is that people don't understand. Like, I hear a lot of remarks from my family and friends, like, but you're not being realistic. Like, you're delusional. Like, okay, we tired of the positivity. We get it. And I'm like, okay, I'm not saying that I don't experience things that I don't like, but it's about how you respond to it. I don't have to choose to wallow in it. I can get beyond it. I tell my nephew all the time when he's throwing a tantrum, he's 7 and he's upset. And, I'll be like, look, you can feel how you want to feel, but you can choose to be happy this moment, or you can choose to be angry. And your anger is not going to change the fact that I said no. You're not going to get whatever you asked for because you're not getting it. So instead of you being mad about and throwing a tantrum and whatnot, why don't you just choose to go find something to be happy about? And he might be like, I don't want to do that. But I'm like, I can't do that. So like when you two are, he might be like, you know what? All right, TT. And then he goes off and plays and all is well. But that's a choice. You can choose to be upset and wallow in that and you just downward spiral of destruction. Or I can choose to be like, you know what? Okay, I had a setback. But I heard someone say years ago, oh, pastor, a setback is a setup for a comeback. So I just come back. Just, that's okay. So I keep that in mind. I'm always constantly like looking for where is that silver lining. No matter what could be. I mean, literally, the world could be in chaos. A fire could be happening right in front of me. Like, you know what? It's okay. It's a fire. Let me get safe. Let me go get some water, go get help. I'm not going to like, oh, the house is burning down. What I'm going to do? I'm going to find some type of solution in that within myself so I can resolve and move forward. So it's about shifting my mindset. The challenge is that people think, I'm being delusional, I'm crazy, or I'm pretending. I hear a lot too, like, oh, you're being fake. I'm like, no, I'm not being fake. I'm allowing myself not to look at what's going on. It's everything's is duality, right? It's always the pros and the cons. I don't have to focus on the cons. I can focus on the pros. Not saying that that's not happening. I just choose not to put my energy on that. That's it. You know. So.
Oh, definitely. And also another key factor and a challenge is also the emotional intelligence that's also involved with the two. You have the positivity and mixed with emotional intelligence and getting a chance to learn the temperature of the room and actually environments. And if I try to find a wiggle way and try to find a click, that's also a good challenge too, because you can have the positivity, you can have the levels of degree that's out there, and also that click right there with the emotional intelligence. If you add that there too, you can find out which volumes of positivity is here. Do I turn it at 3, 5, or 11 if possibility? So that is also a key factor too. And what you just mentioned, it truly hits the nail right there on the head as well. Now, I got to say this. We have different mindsets here, and you talked about where you've been, where you came from, and how you adapted to it and everything else and the challenges. What were some of the best moments you experienced with your positive mindset?
It was countless moments, but the best moments I mentioned earlier when I got that position, when I stopped looking, when I stopped searching and trust, then it came open for me. Another moment recently, I saw some people like creating wall murals here in Vegas in the art district. And I'm like, oh, I want to do a wall mural one day. Like, I think that's going to be pretty awesome. I would love to be a part of that. Now, I'm not thinking about that situation. I'm just thinking like someday I'm be a wall muralist. And within like maybe a week, I went to an event that they was the person who was over it was highlighting the fact that, hey, we have this big old thing going on that there's a wall you can come paint on every weekend. I'm like, what? That's okay. And I started doing that. And it's like, I loved it. I currently is still there. I didn't create 4 pieces on the wall about what's the best that can happen. So it's just been a great experience. I feel like that was an aha moment for me because I'm kind of like, see, you're getting better at this positive mindset. I just had a thought, I want to do that one day and left it alone, forgot about it. And then I got the opportunity, even like being here with you. I had a thought, I want to be on a podcast and talk about positivity. And then I see you, I was on Facebook at the right moment to see you ask the question. I'm like, wait a minute, I want to do it. So just putting yourself in those positions to like say what you want and then know what's going to happen and you just forget about it and then it happens. Like, oh, I remember I said I want to do this. Those are the best moments.
Oh, truly fantastic. And it always seems that the cosmic universe and the stars seem to align here. And next thing you know, bam, moments like this happen. And this is a great feeling of what, Tami? This is a great feeling of what?
It is. It's a wonderful feeling. I'm so giddy. Like, I'll be so excited. So I'm like, and I take just the smallest things I get excited about because it's like the small things become bigger things. So I'm always grateful.
All right. Now, let's say that you're at an event and someone recognizes you from amazing stuff that you've done. And they come up to you and say, Tami, I admire your positive mindset. You seem to be, you are an inspiration to me and hopefully getting better. I've seen you at your beginning. I've seen how it's benefited you. And I want to be like you one day. And I really want to step in your shoes. And because you provide so much for myself. And I just wanted to get involved and be a part of this and actually be in your shoes. Now, if you were to meet someone who told you that, what advice would you give that person to get that first step, that first start?
I would say start small and be patient with yourself. It's not going to change overnight. We took your whole life to get this programming on you. It's just literally retraining your mind, like getting rid of old patterns. And the key is consistency. You got to keep at it. You're going to have moments where you doubt yourself. I do. Like, I'm in this practicing this every day. I call myself a recovering depressed person. It's constantly effort to put forth where I'm constantly that shift. But the key is to when you're going to have those thoughts, but the moment you have them to shift it, it's always to come back with that duality. Okay, yes, this happened, but you know what that can mean for me later on. Maybe this is a benefit for that to happen. So look for the good in a situation. And sometimes that might be hard. So you got to start small. Sometimes I might got to be like, okay, what's good in this moment? Well, I'm alive. Okay, that's good. That's good. I'm breathing. All right, next. Ooh, you know what? I like I like the fact that you know what the sun is out. That's you gotta literally start that small. Or it might be I like to draw, so I'm like I'm just gonna go color. I'm gonna go draw something to clear my mind. It's simple, just a simple thought. It's just you have to start small. The smaller the better, and get giddy about it. Be happy about the little things. Okay, guess what? I was in a car accident. My car got totaled. That's bad. That's horrible. But guess what? That means I'm gonna give me a new car. So yes, not thinking about what kind of car I want. Let me go think about what kind of car I want. Now you just shifted it. So now you putting that positive energy out there, and now you're gonna probably get the car you want. Are you gonna get a car similar to that? But you're putting that spark. You're thinking about something better than the car accident. So
I tell you, it's like what Buddha says: a jug fills drop by drop. You got to start small, drip, drip, drip into the jug, and next thing you know, you have a full jug of gratitude that is out there. And you have that start small, and guess what? The drip, drip, drip always happens, and as soon as you know it, you have that gratitude right there that is already full. And next thing you know, it's gonna be so full that's gonna over drip and just go drip, drip, drip over the jug. If as long as you keep that, as long as you keep that lid open and not closed, then you're in good shape.
you got
Now,
that flow.
exactly, exactly. Now, another question I do have for you is, how can more people know more about this mindset? Where could they actually go to actually learn more about this? Do you have any ideas?
Oh yeah, where I started, I started listening to someone named Abraham Hicks.
Ooh.
This wonderful teacher out there in the world, Reverend Ike. He speaks about positivity, and then too, just awareness. Just be aware of what's around you. The secret. Laws of attraction. That's where ours started. But me not knowing what that meant, but just learning on reading about it. And I would actually say that I'm also going to start hosting things in this community around here in Vegas. I'm looking for partners to do that with great event spaces where I can come and set up and we can play, where we can have whole funds of what's the best that can happen and just have a great time doing that. So anyone ready to partner with me, I'm available for that. But currently just read up on Abraham Hicks or just simply look for the best. Look around you and see all the good things that you have for it. You got a roof over your head, you got a stable job, whatever it is. Maybe you on the bus. That's okay. At least you on the bus. You getting where you gotta go. So again, just start small and it's all around you. Be playful. Have fun. If you start having fun, you're already in that mindset.
I tell you, and I like to also add on to that too, is you mentioned read, and there are so many books out there that one can read, whether it be out of more people, John Maxwell on leadership, Tony Robbins, Grant Cardone, let's see, and Brian Tracy. There's so many books out there that people can actually read. And I also have another confession to make too. The one thing that helped me out and break down my walls is a certain seminar. It's called Size Seminar, and I was able to go through that seminar back in 2008, and it was like the tear down this wall moment because it broke down so many walls, so many barriers, so many levels that one, I mean, it's cool because one, it happened before I became a division governor in Toastmasters, and it was a kick butt year that year, and 08, 09, and also had a chance to ask someone out on a date who happens to be my wife, and it gets the rest is history. And in addition to that, there's been so many open opportunities from that side seminar that really broke the walls down for me. So I really appreciate that in that section. Now, again, these are some amazing things that we can look at. That Tami mentioned, and I can mention the same process. It's always all out there. All I have to do is just look and just take those steps and take those actions forward in order to read that book, or in order to go to that seminar, or in order to check out those speakers that Tami mentioned. It is truly out there as long as you're able to make the step, make the choice, and actually step towards that positivity. Now, I'm going to give you another question, and this question is a shout out portion of our episode. And if you can give a shout out to people that made this possible for you, this mindset possible for you, who would you like to give a shout out to?
Definitely, I want to give some special shout outs. First, I want to acknowledge that it take a village. More than that, it take like a nation to raise me, to raise people, to shape me. There's so many people that helped me along my journey, but there's three people that I really want to shout out today. First is my mother. and rest her soul. She taught me what not to do. I tell you, she taught me what not to do. And she made me aware that I don't have to, where I come from, but not define who I am. And really to lean into joy. My mother was joyful in this in chaos and poverty. I'm like, how are you so happy and all this is going on? And, and for me to see myself now being just like that, I'm grateful that she taught me how to do that, because it's joy everywhere. My superpower is my joy. Second is my grandmother. Like, man, she raised me like that's my rock, my foundation. She my everything. Like my granny and I, we like this. Like, I'm so grateful she's still here and present. And she's 80 something. I want us to get her age wrong. I don't want to get mad at me, but she's a seasoned lady who is amazing. I'm so grateful for her. And lastly is someone that I don't even think she even know how much she shaped my life. This beautiful soul. Her name is Chesley. That was the girl, my friend, when I was 16, who told me, you quit being sick. Then you say you're going to be sick. Her, like, I just want her to know, Chesley, you shaped my life. You changed me, and I'm grateful for you. And you have that same power. We all do. We all have the ability to change our thinking, to create better realities for ourselves.
Fantastic, and great people to actually acknowledge. And it goes to show you that, in the words of Michael Jackson, you are not alone. Because you have a lot of people that are going to be with you. How are you going to get that out of the system? All right. So the last question I do have for you is the positive words of wisdom. Now, there are people out there that's going to watch this episode, and these people and people that follow this episode are ironically called the happy people. And every time I have a guest in here that shares a perfect words of wisdom, perfect and positive words of wisdom, you always see the happy people say, oh, this makes a lot of sense, or it gets a boom, mind-blowing moment. Now, if you can have one more positive words of wisdom to give them, my crew, my people out there, the happy people, what more words of wisdom would you like to share with the happy people?
I would love to share with the happy people that you are powerful and more important than you think you are. You are more amazing. You can do all these things with yourself. And I want to challenge everybody in the best, most loving way to ask yourself, instead of what's the worst that can happen, what's the best that can happen? And allow yourself to believe in that in just a little bit. And then because one tiny shift, because another shift, because another shift, and it can change your whole life to be exactly where you want it to be.
I tell you what, Tami, that is the perfect bookend to a wonderful episode of the Sunday Morning Chat Series with Jesse Oakley III. And I will say this, Tami, on behalf of all the happy people that are watching, I will say thank you very much for taking part in the Sunday Morning Chat Series. And really appreciate it, big time.
Thank you so much. Again, I'm grateful to be here, and thank you. I'm grateful to be a part of the happy people, and it's happy being over here with the happy people. Thank you.
All right, and this concludes the episode of the Sunday Morning Chat Series. For more information about PR Connections, go to prconnectionsradio.com. But wait, there's more. If you want to see a plethora of podcasts that are under the PR Connections brand, go to YouTube, type in PR Connections, and you'll see a bunch of podcasts, including this one, the Sunday Morning Chat Series with Jesse Oakley III. But wait, there's also more. If you want to see some past episodes that I've done about interviewing plethora of positive people that are making big differences in the community, go to YouTube again, type up Sunday Morning Chat Series, and you'll see my face. You'll see a bunch of episodes, and please subscribe, like, comment, as many videos I've done out there. And I've done plenty of interviews from 2020, 2021, 2024, 2025, and right here, right now in 2026. That is 5 years of interviews of the Sunday Morning Chat Series with positive people making big differences in the community. And this concludes this episode of the Sunday Morning Chat Series. Stay tuned for our next episode Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And until then, all you happy people, you take care of yourselves and always, always, always have a great day. Until next time, bye-bye.
PR Connections Radio presents Voting is more than just a right, it's a powerful tool for change. Every vote counts and every voice matters. Voting protects your rights and helps to build a better future. And it's a way to hold our leaders accountable. Voting isn't just about the big elections either. Local elections impact our daily lives. It is important to study the candidates and the issues in order to make an informed decision. Don't sit it out. Your vote is your power.